Following the economic collapse of a company town in rural Nevada, Fern, played by Frances McDormand, packs her van and sets off on the road exploring the life outside of conventional society as a modern-day nomad. As the third feature film from director Chloe Zhao, Nomadland features real-life nomads such as Linda May, Swanky and Bob Wells as Fern's mentors, and comrades in her exploration through the vast landscape of the American West. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Burns Reviews. If you're new to the channel and want videos just like this, be sure to subscribe and ring that bell. And without any further ado, let's talk about the new Frances McDormand movie, Nomadland. Now, starting with positives, I cannot take away anything from Frances McDormand. I've always thought she was a fantastic actress, from Fargo to Three Billboards. She's typically a powerhouse, kind of like a Steve Buscemi type of character actor. She just really blends into any character she plays. She's always relatable, she's always likable, she just works. And, you know, for all the reasons that people have been buzzing about her, I can see her picking up an Oscar. Now, do I think it's her best performance to date? No. I've seen way better. I thought Three Billboards is probably my number one, and then Fargo, and then this is like probably number 4 or 5, and 3 and 4 are like the ones I forgot about. It's a very nuanced and subtle performance, and it's probably the best part of this movie, but I've seen her do better. Now, going into negatives, I know this is not going to be a popular opinion, but I gotta put it out there. I did not really enjoy this movie. I found it to be pretty heavy-handed. You know, I read one critic wrote it. They described it as misery porn, and I couldn't disagree with that. They nailed it right on the head. This is exactly what that is. You know, we meet these different nomads, and the film has a lot of issues as far as structure and writing. I know it's based on a book that people love, but we meet these really sad characters, but we don't really get to meet them. It's like an assembly line of their sad stories. Like, we have one character who says that she wanted to blow herself up in her van, but she didn't want to kill her dogs, who also lived in the van. Okay. Next scene. We have a character who says that she has cancer, and she's dying, and life is bad. That's it. Okay. The next scene we have Frances McDormand crapping into a 7-gallon bucket and then trying to sleep, but she can't. Okay. So you just have these very short scenes that are cut in a really awkward kind of way. You know, it never lets it breathe. You never feel like you can connect to the characters, and that's a problem. You know, Chloe Zhao, who directed this movie, she never invites you into these people's lives. You know, the main arc of this movie is very much at the end of the movie. The last 10 minutes of the movie are really engaging and pretty decent, but you know, just like anything else in life, it shouldn't be about the destination, it should be about the journey, right? Isn't that what they say? Life's a journey, not a destination. This movie is very much that, which doesn't make for a good movie. It's way too choppy. We keep cutting between scene to scene to scene to scene to scene, and we never get to stay in those scenes. So we never get to really connect to the characters, and therefore we never really care. We care about Frances McDormand, but I would argue that a lot of that comes from the fact that we know her from other movies, which gives the movie a lot of goodwill. If it was an unknown actor, I can't say that would have been the case. The writing is very thinly sketched. It's not really filled out, and honestly, they should have picked a lane, because this movie tries to blend documentary with a source material of a book into one. And basically what happens is that nothing works out. I truly do believe that the makings of what was going on behind the movie is far more fascinating than the movie itself, because the book is very much beloved. Everybody loves this book, whoever read it. And I'm sure it's way better because we can actually get to know the characters way better, because we can hear what they're thinking, all that stuff. We don't know what's going on in Frances McDormand's head until the end of the movie, and by that point, it's kind of like, who cares? And then as far as the editing, like I said, you know, it feels like, you know, it almost feels like we're at the zoo, and there's a glass wall between us and the characters, and we can never really get to know them the way that I wish we could have. You know, this movie would have done better if they just went like the documentary route, maybe just like, not like Borat exactly, but maybe if you took Frances McDormand and you made her a character pretending to be a nomad, and, you know, she just goes and interacts, and they, you know, she tells people that she's filming a documentary. That would have been better, but this is so poorly put together, and I blame the writing for what writing there is there, and I blame the direction, and I really blame the editing, because the editing is rough. I kid you not. It's like cut to, cut to, cut to, and that really pulled me out of the movie. So, again, I know this is not an unpopular opinion. I know everybody's on the bandwagon. They say they love this movie, but I'm sorry. I think Three Billboards and Fargo are far better movies. If you want a movie much like this, I would highly recommend two other movies. One is Land with Robin Wright, just came out. It tells a similar story about a woman that basically has lost a lot in her life, and she decides to live a different life by going to live in a cabin. That was pretty good. I would highly recommend that. And then I would also recommend a movie from Amazon called Herself, which takes place in Ireland. It's about a woman who is battered by her husband and decides that she's going to build a house for her and her children. And it's kind of like the underdog story of how she does that. Yeah, those are some solid films. I would go check out Herself. It's on Amazon Prime. You probably have that if you have Amazon Prime. But this movie, I'm sorry, guys. You know, I really wanted this movie to be good. I heard so much buzz about it, but it just really did not. It didn't resonate with me. So I'm sure this is probably not the most. I'm sure it's not a popular opinion. Maybe it resonates with you. The audience score seems to be pretty high, but for whatever reason, I just couldn't get behind it. You know, I just watched Judas and the Black Messiah, you know, maybe a few days before I watched this movie. And I gotta say, like, when you watch Judas and the Black Messiah, it really does put things into perspective in how, you know, those characters in that movie had no choice in the events that went down. You know, they were really stuck in a corner. So when you follow that up with Nomadland, and you ask yourself, like, why is Frances McDormand's character doing this, character of Fern? Like, she has choices. She doesn't. There's two opportunities in this movie where she could stop being in Nomadland, and I'm sorry, she could stop being a nomad, because there's two occurrences in this movie where people say, "Hey, do you want to come live with me?" And she turns it down. She decides she's gonna stay in her little van and poop in her bucket, and we get to see her poop in the bucket. And I don't think that was really necessary, but okay. And we get to see her do a backstroke naked in a lake. Again, didn't think it was really necessary. Seeing way more of Frances McDormand than I thought that we really had to. And, you know, it just felt very thinly sketched. I think that's really what I want to drive home, is that it's very thinly sketched in the writing, and I know what they were going for, but they missed their mark. Which is why I'm going to give Nomadland a C-. Yeah, it just didn't do it for me. But, what did you think of Nomadland? Be sure to comment down below. I'd love to hear your opinion. I'm sure a lot of people are going to say, "John, you don't know what you're talking about." And yeah, you know what? This is just my opinion. It's not a fact. You have your opinion. I have mine. And, you know, just to put it out there, I love these kind of profound movies. You know, don't think that I'm a big fan of, like, Transformers 20 or something like that. I love deep movies. But this just did not work. So, yeah. Anyway, guys, be sure to comment down below and subscribe if you want videos just like this. We do them every week. We're going to be doing the review for Cherry, the new Tom Holland movie, coming up soon, so stick around for that. And until next time, guys, thank you so much for watching. I've been John, and we will see you next time.